Yo, welcome back to the channel. Today's video of another VOD review. We're using the boys Trent. Speak English. It's Trent's gameplay. I believe I can't remember what rank he is exactly, but we're going to go through and kind of find out. But yeah, let's break it down, see what he does well, things he could slightly improve. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Starting off here, just immediately, one thing I noticed, I watched like a minute of the gameplay, then just to get like a feel for how he's playing. A few things I noticed off the break here, just like off the break. One thing you want to do is have a plan, right? Have a plan of where you want to go. That's absolutely fine. But one thing I always recommend is adapting your plan based on your teammates. Okay, so right now I can see that Trent is clearly going to the right hand side because he wants to go up that zip line and make a little pinch towards the the top, which is absolutely fine. Great play. However, I can clearly see my teammate in front of me. Okay, so if I'm Trent in this position, if I'm the player playing, my first thought process is we need to have map control. So we need to have somebody around there, somebody on the right, somebody further left. We need to kind of have a spread out base. Okay, so the first thing I would say is, where is this player going? Because if he's going to stay there, that's absolutely fine. I can go around. If this player decides to go right, I should adapt my strategy and stay there. That's the first thing I noticed and I want to talk about, is adapting your playstyle. So look at this as we go through. Right there, you see your player as he drops off, like you can see he's clearly going off there. I would have stopped my plan and helped my team instead. So let's go through TAC maps together and explain what I mean in a bit more detail. Right now, if I look at TAC maps, I'm number one. Okay, we're going to make sure that Trent, and in this situation, what I'm referring to is going to be me, is number one. Okay, so what I would do in this situation. So I have a teammate in front of me right there. So as this teammate goes through, wherever he decides to go, I'm going to go to the other area so we have a wider range, because my teammate just died on the hill. So right now, you can see if Trent decides to kind of do his route like this and goes right, and his teammate goes right, we have left our teammate, because this one's now dead, in basically a 1 versus 3, maybe 1 versus 4 here. So in terms of spreading the map, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So you want to make sure that you play a little bit slower and just understand where your teammate's going, because this makes more sense now. At least then my teammate has a bit of support. There's 2 of us there. We're actually buying enough time where my teammate can make a play. So just small plays like that are really important, because you end up jumping off, your teammate ends up dying. So for me, you go into the right here, it's not really a good play, because they are going to predict it. Now 2 of you are dead. You're both going to spawn there. If I'm an opponent, right, and I've just cleared this area, let's say they've just got the first 2 kills, which they have, I'm immediately going to watch zipline, because that's the only thing open. They haven't seen 2 of you. So right now you get through, they should be watching that. If they watch that, it's an easy kill, they wipe you. So you go through, and now you're both in the same area, but because you have no map control, it's just easier for them to predict. So you see they end up predicting it, and you don't really set up in a good way. But as we go through now, you get 1, your teammate gets a second. You see you're playing for a spawner again. This is just about understanding what's going on. So let me back away slightly and explain why I don't think anyone's going to be in spawn. As we go through, let's look at the kill feed. There's been no kills from our side, okay? So it's safe to assume that they've set up already. Let's just say somebody's on these stairs here. Let's say somebody's on the right, somebody's around there. We don't know exactly where they are. Let's just say something like this, okay? As we go through, I want you to pay attention to the kill feed right there. Now we get 1 kill. So the kill we just get, let's just say our teammate killed this player here. He's now going to spawn around there, okay? So he spawns there. Now this is the most important thing that I've started doing recently a lot more, is counting between seconds of kills. So what I mean by that is, when I get a kill, I actually count in my head, okay, in 3 seconds, this player is going to spawn up. So they have a 3-second spawn delay, okay? So I know in 1, 2, 3, this number 4 will then spawn there. So then you can work on your timings, because what most people do is they run around, they don't use the timings in their head to kind of find those cuts. So we go through, so there's 1 down. So I would say like now they've spawned up, they're probably going to be on the left by that little heli area. So now you go through. So now that 3 of them are dead, okay, the player that just spawned up is going to already be heli, because he spawned up by now. These 2 players you can manipulate depending on where you push out to. So you see as he pushes out here, I would expect that 1 player, the one we just mentioned, number 4, I would expect that player to be the player push further. Let's look at the kill feed together. So that's not actually him. So we're still looking for that number 4. Now, I don't know where he is. Maybe he spawned out there because we pushed up a bit further. Maybe we end up blocking it. However, when we got to this area here, okay, when Trent got to this area here, let's put him around there. I think he's now blocked heli spawns, so the rest of the opponent should now spawn out. So this is what I mean by blocking spawns. Once he gets here, he's blocked the spawns. There's 3 people that are dead, right? So they are now going to spawn out. based on the map, based on what you've blocked. So I think you do a really good job here reading that, because I want to see what he does there. He does a really good job reading that and goes through. So you can see he actually reads the spawn really well. He knows they're coming through there, okay? So I like the way he read the spawns there. And just for everyone at home kind of wondering what happened is every time you kill someone, you have 3 seconds before they spawn up. So what happened is Trent pushed through, kind of blocked this area there, and allowed for the opponents to spawn on the other side of the map there. Now, whether that's a good play or not is down to you to decide. For me personally, you actually want to keep them trapped around, I would say, here. Because of the P2, you want to kind of keep them trapped here. It's further away, okay? I used to, at the start of the game, want to spawn here for P2 and hold it from this side. But as the game progressed, this is definitely the better area to hold P2 from. So you kind of gave them the good spawn. So you got to be a bit careful of that. You go through. I would say a little bit shaky shots there with the, right there. But that's okay. That's something we can work on. But yeah, you get 3P. So now you spawn at the back here. And it's a bit of a weird one. You can see you spawn there, they spawn there. So this is kind of weird right now. I'm not really sure why you're spawning here. I think somebody from their team is pushed out quite far. As you can see, they're pushing out quite far. And this normally happens in these kind of lobbies, I would say around the platinum, gold level. People don't really understand spawns. So what happens is when they get kills, they just push out completely. And it kind of flips the spawns quite a lot. So you can see you go through. We know 2 are on the right. Someone's obviously on the hill. Great kill. You see he wasn't even expecting it. We back away. Okay, cool. Now it's all about the rotation. So right now we have to be quick on the rotation here. Interesting. Even the route we take, we got to kind of go through and explain why it's either the good route or not really. So right now it's all about timing, okay? So in this situation, we've got 2 kills. We know the third on the map is far left. So if I look at the map and kind of guess where he is, we're the blue team here, okay? So we're around here. We have a teammate around there. We have another teammate on the hill. Our teammate just died, so we're going to leave him just on the outside of the map here. And we've got, I believe, about 2 or 3 kills. Let's say we have 2 kills. So 2 red players are dead as well. So that means 2 of them are, going to be spawning up soon. One of them, if we look at the map, can we see that Spartan player? He's quite far to the left. I would say he's around there, around the zip line, okay? Just from the mini-map. And the other player, we don't know where he is, but he's just spawned up. I'm assuming he's going to be spawning up around there. He's probably around there, okay? So this is really important. I'm going to assume the last 2 players spawn up there. Okay, and our teammate spawns behind me. So right now, for me personally, as we're going through, I think you want to cut the lanes as quick as possible. So let's go through tac maps here and explain my thought process. Right now, I want to get around here before the red players get there. Because if I take a long route like this, and I get to this area here, there's a chance that red player pushes up and gets to maybe the stair glitch or something like that. If they get to that area, it's going to be harder for me to get into the hill because they've kind of controlled it. So what I want to do is, instead of taking this long route, I want to look at the kill feed, look at the mini-map, understand that we actually have mid-map control. If we look at the mini-map, we can see we actually have mid-map control to an extent, right? Because your teammates are there, you got 2 kills. So we know they only have 2 people up currently. And based on the mini-map, one of them is actually over there. So we should be safe enough right now to go through this quicker route, get there first, so we can get to this area while this guy's in the sprint. And this is where timing is so crucial. You want to get there before the red player gets there. So right now I look at the minimap, look at the kill feed, realize, look how far he is. He's so far away that your quickest route here, in my opinion, is to go through this area, even go through the kind of jump up and stop them in this area here. Try to kill them in the sprint, because this is where they're the most vulnerable. So this is where timing is so crucial. But you go all the way around here, and these 1 or 2 seconds for me just add a little bit too much to your push. Again, your teammates get 2. So right now, look at this. Imagine if, like I mentioned, the timing, what if you got here where you are now and the player was stair glitching? He would have killed you. So you see you're holding this angle, you actually read it correctly, perfect. This player, just like I mentioned, he beat you for timing the way you played. However, because he wasn't ready for you, it's an easier kill. Now, if you go up against an iridescent in this situation, he is more than likely, instead of playing the hill, to be playing the stair glitch. And that is where you're going to find problems. So when you're taking that extra long route there, Trent, what you're doing is you're allowing for a bad timing. You're allowing for him to set up first, and in this situation he's not looking at you, but against better players they're more than likely going to be set up there, and it stops you from getting on the hill. So we just got to be a little bit more cautious in those situations, making sure we're playing our timings a bit more. Okay, great kill. Now right now this is where you have no information, so perfect. I like the way you shoulder that. Great, I like that. Was absolutely fine. Honestly, you don't even have to use your equipment there. I would hold it as long as possible, but that's fine. That's a great play. It's 2 down. Again, I would peek the right here. Now, this is interesting. When your teammate spawns out, let's have a look together, because this is where I think people go a little bit wrong. Let's have a look at their spawns there. We're on P2 right now. So let's move everyone off the map. So everyone's off the map right now. And let's just go through our current setup, what we have. So we're on P2. And if I look at the minimap right now and pause it, we have me on P2, watching the front kind of middle. We have my teammate who's watching a similar area, but from a deeper angle. We have another teammate who I believe is up top. There you go. He looks like he's up top right there. So another teammate who's sitting middle like that. If I had to guess where my teammate's going to spawn, I would say he should spawn behind us. But this is why it's really important to look at the minimap. If I look right now, we get 2 kills. Okay, cool. I would say the red team is spawning here. I would be like, cool, red team spawning there. We have a good setup. However, if you look at the minimap together, right there, as soon as I see my teammate spawn there, I'm like, oh, okay. That means my teammate is spawned there. So the opponents must have gone through the gap and blocked the other spawns. So I would immediately read that as, oh no, they are spawning behind me. Let me turn around and watch that. Because if my teammate's spawning there, this alleyway now is actually clear. My teammate can actually look at this alleyway from his spawn, so I don't need to worry about this. Top middle, my other teammate's holding. So your first thought right now should be to turn around and watch the pinch right here. You should immediately go there because they're going to be pinching you from here. Now, I've not seen this gameplay from here. I only watched the first, I'll say like 30, 40 seconds, the first P1, just to kind of see your play style. And then I was like, let me start recording. So right now I haven't seen anything, but I know just from information that we're watching that they should be behind you. So we're going through. There's one up there, and I guarantee the rest comes from your left here. On your left, so again, look at your minimap. You see right now, that is a quick, there you go. So that is the speed I want you to be quicker at, right there. That timing, those 2 to 3 seconds where you were a little bit hesitant and you're watching on top, that is what's going to get you killed. It's not to do with your gun skill. That is just minimap awareness and being quick, okay? So let me back away and go through it again. Right now, you get the kill, immediately you have to turn around. Now, this is where I think sometimes getting off the hill is more valuable. If you look at the minimap where I put you on tac maps, if you stood there on the head glitch on your left, you would have not got time, but you would have stopped another wave of going through. You would have got another 1 or 2 kills there, and just allowed time for your teammates to push up. You would have allowed time for your teammates to help you and get more time. So right now, you staying on the hill, and look, you're watching your area. You should be turning around right there. You should be on that head glitch, pre-aiming that area, because you would have stopped this number 3. In this case, who is it? In this case, that Danos, right? You would have killed Danos right there in the sprint. Danos would have spawned further away, and you would have had more time overall. So let's watch the kill cam. Okay, so you skip the kill cam. So right there, remember to watch the kill cam so you understand what's going on. It's just good for you to learn the game like that. It's a really valuable way of learning it. Okay, cool. And this is where, again, I want you to switch your weapons. Let's pause this right now. I'm going to expect you to push the hill or push something, where right now, this is where you need to change from pushing to holding, okay? So let me explain to the best of my ability. Let's have a look at the minimap right now. What's going on? What's actually happened? So the red team have flipped the spawn. So the red team now have P2 spawn. So they've got this side of the map. For P2 itself, that's a good thing because you're able to get to the hill quicker. However, around halfway through P2, when you have map control, I actually prefer to be on your side. I actually think this is good for you. Why? Because of this. They are going to be spawning here. What we're going to do is we're going to make this the, let's make this the red spawn. We're going to call this spawn point 2. And we're going to call this spawn point 1, okay? Spawn point 1 has a few variations in terms of you can spawn there or wherever. You spawn around this area, okay? So like you saw, you spawn in the house. So what happens now is for P2, at the start of P2, we would actually prefer to spawn here. As P2 progresses, we would like to spawn point 1, okay? Now we have a position where we're in spawn point 1. Let's have a look at the minimap. And this is where I want you to adjust your playstyle, okay? In-game, switch those gears. There's someone on the hill. So you have someone on the hill. We have someone else going towards the hill, and we have somebody watching on top. Okay? In this scenario, you need to look at this game and say, right, there's 30 seconds left. They are spawning out. What we need to do is set a trap. If my opponents go to the hill, my teammates have enough manpower there, because this guy's going there. They have 2 people there to watch that bottom area. My other teammate is watching this middle cross. right now, I want you to look at the gap with me. I want you to look at the gap right now on TAC maps and tell me where you think, number one, where you think Trent should go. I'm going to stop it for a second. Where do you guys think Trent should go? Just have a think. Have a think to yourself. Where could Trent go to be valuable here? And this is why I think pick up an AR. I look at the mini map right now and I say, right, the only thing you need to do here, Trent, is go outside here, go to your right, stand around here, okay? And this is what you do. You watch the right-hand side and make sure no one goes through. The reason I want you to go right a little bit is because you could also, you see this door here? You could also see inside the door from the right and watch the underground route. You could see if they come through the door and go underground. So all you're trying to do here is make sure that your teammates are safe on the left. So now if you think about the setup now, your teammate has this middle area. You now have the whole right-hand side. Your other two teammates have the hill. There is absolutely zero way they go through. Now, most people are saying, oh, what about the spawn one? They cannot spawn in point one now because your teammate's there. You guys have a good setup. They have nowhere to go, so they are trapped here. As long as this happens, as long as you keep it like this, they are not going to just magically spawn behind you. That's not how it works. The only way they could spawn behind you is if somebody goes underground, goes all the way around spiral, ends up blocking these spawns, and somebody from your team overcommits. Okay, but for now, in this situation, you should identify the gap. Now, I guarantee that you are going to not stay here. I guarantee you are going to either push the left to get the kills and help your team, or I actually think that's the only thing you're going to do. In my opinion, I think you're going to push the left here. I would love for you to prove me wrong, and let's see. I'm hoping you prove me wrong here. Okay, you push it, and right there. This is what I don't want you to do. This push, because let's stop right here. Okay. This is exactly what I didn't want you to do. If we actually look at the difference of where I wanted you and where you end up going, I wanted you to be, let's make this yellow, okay? I actually wanted you to be, Trent, around here. That way, you are keeping spawn point 1, you are keeping them at spawn point 2. But what you've actually done here is you've gone through, you've completely pushed through. Your teammates have got the kills, but when you go here, what you are now doing is, yes, you may pinch one or two people. Maybe you get a good pinch on, okay? But you are blocking this spawn. So when I say the term blocking the spawn, what that means is you are making it so that the game doesn't allow the red team to spawn here. So you're actually forcing them to potentially spawn there. You're actually giving them the new rotation for free. Now, let's say you get a kill or two. Let's play this out. You go behind them, you get a good pinch here, 20 seconds left, you get a good pinch, cool. Like I mentioned, you're gonna get the kills. Why? Because you're pinching them, they're not expecting this. I mentioned it, 2 kills, perfect. You get a 3-piece, in fact, great. But guess what? If they play that properly, if they actually play that properly, what would have happened there was they would have spawned at P1, at point 1, okay? If you're gonna make a play like that, you have to work your timings perfectly, and you have to make sure that somebody is hard blocking the back. So you have to go through like this. You have to go through when you know that there's 3 of them there. Okay. You have to, let's say there's 4 of them going there. If you're going to push like that, it has to be someone's hard blocking. You go through, you get the kills, and then before they get a chance to spawn back, you run back here so that they spawn back there. Does that make sense? Now in this situation, it might have worked out okay, because first of all, good 3-piece on the pinch, but again, you have to be careful with that. I don't like the play overall, because for me, if their opponents played it slightly better, I think you give them the spawns. So in this situation, it works out okay, but can you see the risk in that? Let's go through and let's talk about the risk right now. Right now, the risk is, if those opponents, they just got the kills, those 2 people got kills, if they decided, instead of sitting on the hill, if they decided to keep pushing out further across the map, what would have happened is your 2 teammates that just died, Frost and Toe Jam, they would have spawned there. So you need to be careful. If somebody on their team decided to push through this area and kind of block the spawns like that, your teammates would have spawned out and you would have potentially cost your team the rotation. So this has to be a very careful play. You go through, just like that. They've got the hill. They could have easily pushed out here. They could have kept pushing out and blocked the spawns. But you see someone's in there, they didn't push out enough. The opponents just didn't push out enough. So you have to be very careful. So you've got a 3-piece, but this is one of those where, again, you have to just be cautious. For me, it's not a 3-piece worth going for, in my opinion, unless you're playing in a stack of 4 and you have someone hard blocking and your timing is absolutely perfect. But I just think you got to be more careful there. Okay, I would have much preferred the way I recommended playing, where you're holding a setup and you just make sure they don't push it. You keep them trapped there. Okay, now you go through again. Look at the map. What's empty? Well, the right's empty. So right now, I mean, a little bit of a miss done there, but just look at the minimap. There's a lot of empty areas. Now let's go through this. The reason they're able to get here is because of the end of last hill, and this is why I wanted you to just chill a little bit and hold this area. If you held this area the whole time, if you just stayed back and held this area and didn't let them get through, you would have had more success here. Why? Because your teammates got the kills. You would have kept them trapped here. You could have slowly transitioned to the left there and helped your teammates here, but you pushed out all the way, and look what happens. You see, you die now, you lose that map control, you spawn back here, and there's just so much gap in the setup, but immediately you have space here. You should get an AR out, go to the right and hold it. So right now you should go to the right. Go to the right. There's 2 down. Again, look, you're going around. There's 3 down. You see how you're going left, right, back, forward? This is where you go wrong. This bit here. You're wasting too much time going in circles. You're not maximizing the map control. Let's go through the map control. Right now, you have this much map control. Okay, you guys don't have a lot of map control. You've got the kills, you don't have a lot of map control. You know they're pushing forward. So during this time, you should have just been set up. You had time. Instead of going round and round and round, this is what you did, okay, bro? You went up here, went all the way around, all the way back there. Instead of doing that, just go to a power spot. Keep this power spot. If you got an AR and sat here, they have a hard time to go through middle. But you're just giving them easy options. You're giving them easy routes, okay? So now you go through again. You should think, okay, they're not on the hill. They're going to be pushing up. Let me go to the right and stop them. But instead, you go through the middle. Your teammates are there. They end up going behind you. That guy gets 2. He's on your left there, and you just get cornered. So you just got to be a bit more cautious with your map control. I think one thing you're not struggling with, but one thing I want to help you with is understanding the map control and your position on the map. Because you've got the movement, you've got the gunny, but you're not using it the way you need to because of just randomness with map control, okay? Let's go through. There's one on the stairs, more than likely. He just read that well. Again, timing wise. So Spartan read that well. He was able to go through. Your teammate gets 2. You spawn out. They're going to be spawning at the back there, okay? So again, look at this hill. You had the full setup. Where it went wrong is that little circle. You should have just maximized map control. Before, right here, as soon as you died, you should have realized, okay, my teammates get the kill. Look at this, bro. You have everything. Your teammate has his top middle. All you have to do is pick up the right. Pick up the right and you were fine. Right there, just pick up the right and that was it. And now the only person that got through was the guy that went underground. How did he go underground? Because you weren't at the right originally. You know when I said to you, you should have been at the right and you went for the 3-piece, right? Instead of going for that 3-piece, if you instead just held your position, what would have happened is you would have not allowed him to go underground. You would have kept them trapped here. It's all about setting up a long-term trap. So right now, again, go to the right and you're fine. You're chilling here. But because you end up, messing around it, look, 3 down, bro, 3 down. You know they're going to spawn out. All 3 of those people are going to spawn back there. So you should have realized, oh shit, 3 down, let me push up. Let me get to this mid area and stop them from going through. Even if you went mid gun, wherever, play the off angle, just be a bit more aggressive here. Instead of going backwards here, look, you go backwards, backwards, backwards. You need to go forwards there, okay? Let's fast forward it. Now, with 20 seconds left, let's find it. Yeah, right there with 20 seconds left. We're going through. Okay, this is when you should start thinking of the bigger picture, which is the new hard point. Your teammate gets 2. You know there's 2 there. I would say right now, rotate. Honestly, just rotate. You either push this hill now or rotate. We go through 20 seconds, but you taking this long route now, in my opinion, it's okay, but you have to think of the next hill as well, okay? Let's go through. I don't mind you playing for the scrap time. The only thing is you're relying on your teammates to rotate and they don't do it. And now look. Like for me, it's just kind of one of those things where you're like, you just given them the P4 for free. Okay. And I want you to understand what I mean by that. Could you have done what you did and got away with it? Yes. If your teammates rotated, but your teammates aren't rotating now. So now 3 of you are going forward. You let one of them rotate. So right now you're fighting for 20 seconds, which is fine, by the way, but you're not really helping on the rotation. So they have the full setup. So look, if you go through, you're going through, you're going through, you're going through. Your teammate on the rotations by himself. You end up taking this guy out, great. Now your teammate dies on the rotation. So this is where you basically traded 12 seconds there because you just got the hill. So you get 12 seconds here and your opponents get the full rotation to P4. So what you've said is, I'm going to fight for the scrap time and get 12 seconds. Or I could fight for the rotation and potentially get 45 to 50. That's just a decision you have to make. For me, for this specific hill, the rotation is always worth it. These are the micro decisions that you have to make every single game, every single hill. And this is where people say to me like, oh, I'm dropping X amount of kills, I'm not ranking up. it's not just about kills, it's these micro decisions. Like, okay, cool, my teammate's not rotating, or one of them's rotating, but you know, it's just all it is a cost benefit analysis. Like, right, what is the cost there, right? If we rotate now, we have a higher chance of securing P4. It's an even game right now. It's an even game. For me to get to this hill right now, and the thing is, it's like right now is like a golden fruit in front of you. Like, you really, really think this is the right play because it's right in front of you. You see the hill, you're like, I should get there. But then it's like thinking and stopping, like, no, you know what? Like, the best play here is actually to rotate and help my team. It's just like, what is the higher chance of us winning? So if I back away a little bit more, where you, again, small mistakes here that got you to this position, because you shouldn't be in this position, but that's okay. Those things I think we could work on. But this right here, when we look through and say, right, 2 are down. Okay, so we get 2 kills. There's now 2 on the hill. I'm going to guess there's 2 on the hill. As we go through, in my opinion, I'm looking at this and saying, I actually know what you're doing. And it's not like, oh, it's a bad play, but I can see why it went wrong, because there's a higher chance for me personally of you securing P4 a full 60 than even getting in here and securing 15. So right now I would just say, like, I don't know, I just look at this and say, like, the better play is to rotate. The obvious play, the play most people make, is to go to the hill. But that's why it's not the better play, because most people do that. It's just right there. It's like, it's kind of like it's tempting you because it's so close that you just want to go for it. But let's play it out again. Let's play it out. Your team is by himself. He goes through, you go through, you go through. And by the way, yes, it's 20 seconds, but by the time you actually get there, as you're seeing now, there's only 15 seconds. So really, this is scrap time, bro. This 15 seconds for me isn't worth it. Now, let's just stop right here and say, okay, you weren't here, Trent. You were underground. Your teammate and you are underground. You would have been underground with that player. You would have been helping him. Okay? You would have been in a 3 versus maybe a 3, okay? Maybe a 3, maybe a 2, because one of them died. Let's say you're in a 3 versus 2. You would have been in a 3 versus 2. You and your teammates would have won that more than likely, and you would have held that area, okay? Let's play this out with your teammate here, the 15 seconds. Your teammate dies. So what would have happened if you weren't here? If you weren't here for the trade and you were underground, you would have guaranteed the P4 rotation, okay? Instead, you guarantee the scrap time. So your teammate dies, cool. Now, because your teammates down below were in a 2 versus 2, you could rely on them to win it, but they lose it. Do you see where I'm going with? They could have won that and this play would have been okay without you changing a thing. So that's why sometimes I think you have to be careful, because you can make the wrong play and it work out okay because of luck. That's what I said to you earlier. When you went round P2, I think it was a wrong play, but it worked out okay for you. You have to be very careful. Where right now, I think you made the wrong play and it didn't work out for you, because now all 3 of your team are dead, and this is a very, very difficult hill to break. So they're on 58 points here, and I expect them to get to about 90. Let's see what happens. Okay. As I say that, you're able to walk in, which is unbelievable. I don't know how they didn't hold this. So this is, I'm eating all my words. This is crazy, okay? So I want to go through, this is really important. What you just did is you just broke the hardest hill in the game to break because they couldn't hold it, okay? Now this is really important. You're in a diamond lobby right now. As you progress, and my job as a coach is to tell it as it is, as you progress, that play you just made would have cost your team 60 seconds, because any good team there holds P4 right now. Any good team holds P4. You right now, going forward, you have done nothing to help break P4, and your teammates able to break it by themselves, okay? Now, when I say that, it's to make it clear. Your play was wrong in terms of the overall picture. Your team managed to break in somehow. That doesn't make your play right. And I want you to understand that when you're making a wrong play, that's what happens. Yes, you have P4 now, but you cannot tell me you rotated. You cannot tell me you played for it. They had a full setup. I don't know how they fumbled it, okay? So it's really important to understand. Sometimes you make the wrong play and you get away with it, and then you reinforce bad habits, and that happens a lot to people I coach, okay? So be very careful of that. Right now you go through, you know they're gonna be up top there, so again, just being a bit more cautious there. I would have been a bit more prepared there. As soon as you go through and your teammates get a couple of kills there, I'm spending a long time. I think I spent like half an hour already. Yeah, it's been about half an hour just on the first rotation. We have this hill as well, and then for the second rotation, we'll kind of skim through it, because most of the time it's the same thing. Okay, so we'll go through this one again in detail, and then for the second rotation, we'll just kind of skim through it, see if anything else happens. But as we go through right now, Two go down, you should be thinking, okay, where are they spawning? Well, I just came from this side of the map, so logically, they should be spawning around there. Okay, so look at the mini-map with me on attack map. They should be spawning around there. Two of them have just died, so they're going to spawn in 3 seconds. Remember, now we're counting the timing, it makes it easier. So I know 2 of them are pushing through. Realistically, my teammates have 2 on the hill, so they're 2 underground. Okay, I'm over there, they have 2 underground. My teammates, and we have a 3rd underground. We have 3 people underground here. We have 3 people underground. So what does that mean? It means we do not need to worry about zipline. The only thing I need to worry about right now, Trent, the only thing you need to worry about to help your team is this, and this area here. That's it. That's the only thing you have to worry about. If they decide to go through spiral and pinch, you will realize that because you see no one in the kill feed for, 10, 15 seconds. But right now, the only way they go through the hill is they go down the zip line, which your teammates have that, or they pop up through here or pop up through there. There's only 2 people, by the way. So what you should be doing right now is playing a corner right there. Okay, this time I'm talking about timing. Play a corner right here, look up, and just pre-aim this. Just pre-aim that, because they're probably panicking, they're probably rushing in, because that's what people do. So this is what you should have done. Just chilled there, waited there. But you see how you're running, your timing was off. Timing is crucial. You got 2 kills as a team. That means a 3rd and 4th have already spawned up and they're right there, you see? So I wanted you set up for this gunfight instead of running for it, because again, he kills you. Yes, your teammates probably still have it, but it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, now you die, and guess what? It's a 2v4. So you see these small plays. Now, look, you're just making it a bit harder on your team. Where you just spawn now is where your opponent spawned 5 seconds ago. And look at the route that they took. They went through this middle area, just like you're doing now. Just like you're doing now, that's what they did. So what you wanted to do is be prepared, and you lose the hill. So you see that one play allowed you to lose the hill. You have to be more cautious. And what's this? You went through this area. Remember what I said to you, 10 seconds ago? Right here, imagine if you just stood on that Hegdish where you just was. If you just stood there and didn't let them push through this double door, right there, just held this double door. All you would do there is hold this angle, do not let them push through double door. Your teammates know, okay, Trent's got double door, we have to watch the zip and we're done. That's it. But these small decisions, these pacing issues are causing big problems for you. Nothing to do with gun skill. Now you go through, your teammates lose a gunfight. Again, you guys get broken. You have to hold areas of the map and just make sure that opponents can't go through. Okay, right now, let's pull this right now. If there was an opponent right there, shouldering, shooting you and backing you away, you would not be able to jump through. That's what you should have done. You should have stopped the player here, isolated him, made him waste time, because your teammates would have had an easier job then. You go through, you get killed, and now look, now they've got you in a trap. It's all these small details, okay, my friend? These are the details that are very important. You go through, your teammates get 2. Perfect. Let's go through. Let's chuck our equipment big door. They're going to be big door now. Again, look who you're watching. You're watching Zip. They literally can't come through there. It's literally impossible for them to come through there because you were right here. You spawned here. Unless they got the best timing ever and they come through the front door when you're not looking. But look, right now as you go through, you know they're coming through spiral. You just spawned Zip. So your first thought process should be, okay, they're coming through spiral, stun, nade, slide to the left, watch big door. That's it. That's it in that situation, okay? So we go through. You're watching the wrong door. Again, you still got your equipment. This is just the timing. I want you to be quicker with that. Your teammate spawns there. No one's going to be there, bro. No one's going to be there. You go through and look, it comes through big door. You see where I'm coming from? These small decisions are costing you. Again, you're worried about the back, but your teammates are spawning there. That isn't your worry. You should be worried about the big door. You should be worried about the spiral. Now we go through. Okay, first rotation goes through. Again, you haven't done bad, but there's a few things you can clean up. 3 go down. Okay, so let's do the timing together here. Let's do the timing together, okay? So you get the kills, cool. So now they're going to spawn up. They're probably going to spawn back spiral, like this spiral side, because your teammates spawn the other side. Okay, so now they've all spawned up. Everyone should be spawned up now. Now Muffin Man's going to spawn up in like 2 seconds. Okay, so now Muffin Man might just spawn up like now. Okay, so Muffin Man just spawned up. These 3 just died. So 1, 2, 3. By now, they have spawned. But look where you're looking. There's no way they're right there. They're probably all spawned back P3 side still. And this is what I mean by looking at the timings of the kill feed, okay, my friend? Look where they spawn and say, okay, you know what? We just got 3 kills. My teammate is blocking that area. They probably spawned like deep in the pit area here. They probably spawned deep in the heli bit there. Okay, let's go through. And look, just like that. They spawned where we mentioned. Now, they may have got a bit of a split spawn there, where they both spawned either side because you guys were both kind of pushed out. So what happened was you were around there, your teammate was kind of around there, and you're the teammate on the hill. So you guys kind of push both sides, which you don't really want to do, because what happened is I think you gave them a bit of a split spawn. This is one of those weird spawns where we can only see in Codcaster, so we have to kind of predict here. This is one of those where honestly the game decides where they want to spawn it. It's kind of hard to predict exactly, but the reason why that happened was because you gave them a potential split spawn depending on where you pushed. But what you could have done is identified, okay, they're more than likely going to spawn this heli area. Let me now go around and watch these stairs here. But you're just sitting here watching this, and again, it's just kind of out of the play. So I want you to kind of understand the minimap a little bit more, a little bit faster with the kill feed, and realize, okay, they probably spawned there. And now look, by the time you get there, this is a perfect example of what I want you to do, okay? When you get 3 down, you're watching this. For me, that's irrelevant. What you should be doing is, this is where timing is important. You should be thinking, okay, can I get to these stairs? Most of the time, this is where timing is important. These stairs will take maybe 2 or 3 seconds to get to, okay, when you slide across. Let's say 2 seconds. You need to understand, can my opponent be here within 2 seconds? If the answer is yes, then you don't push it. If the answer is no, then you get there because it's a better position. In this scenario, your opponent cannot get there because you just got the kills. So your first thought should be to slide to those stairs. Look, you're watching out your window, you're watching that side. You're watching that side, you're worried about the wrong side. You have a submachine gun. Yes, he spawns there, but it's a split spawn, just like we mentioned. So you should be there. What you should have done is been right there, and you know what you could have done? Let's look at attack maps. You could have sat there and watched the door, okay? If you watch that door, what happens is this. Somebody's going to go through heli, somebody's going to go through the room. The player that goes through the room, you kill immediately. You isolate them so they have no choice but to go through heli. You set up a pinch for your teammates. You set up an area, a choke point. You set up a crossfire where your teammates keep them trapped there. That is how you should have played that. But look, you go through, you're watching the wrong time, and look at that. Look at timing. You get a bad timing, but you had so much time there. So you didn't need to create a bad time. Look, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It took you 9 seconds to get here. You had 9 seconds to get here and set up. And those are the small things we need to work on. That should be immediate. That should be 1, 2, boom, done. That's it. Because now you spawn out and now they get map control. You see how much time you're giving them? How much simple time you're giving them for no reason? Again, you're going through, you're shooting in this area. They're going to get the kill every time. Again, you're going through a choke point. As soon as you see your teammates are dead here, you shouldn't push through this area because there's no one to support you. All they have to do is stand on the head glitch and kill you. These small things are keeping you stuck in this rank, okay? Same situation here, you're going through. Okay, so again, you get the kill. So right there, you're holding it. You're holding the area, that's fine. But again, what is the play here? You see how you pushed up? You pushed up, your teammates are on one side. You're going behind them, you get the kills. Okay, look what happens. As you get the kills, your teammates die. And guess what? You push up here. Now you've actually given them the other side. Look, they're pushing up, bro. They have pushed up. They have people pushed up now. So you standing here now, you've given your team this side. So one thing you're constantly doing is you're pinching and going for kills, but then you're giving yourself the bad spawns. This is the bad spawn. And look where you're pre-aiming. Again, Trent, you have great gun skill. I need you to use it in a selfless way. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Right now, when I'm watching you play, your constant play is to pinch, pinch, pinch. The issue is when you're pinching, you're creating an opportunity for bad spawns. Look what happens here. You get 2 kills. You're going to, first of all, you're not looking at the minimap because you're pre-aiming this area, but your teammates have spawned here. Now on P2, this is not where you want to spawn. You pushing up here, your teammates all dying. You've basically given your team this spawn here. Okay, you see where I'm coming from? You've given your team this spawn. If you're gonna pinch it like that, it has to be a case where your teammates are alive and they're blocking the back, they have somebody on the side, you have a better setup. That's how you play it. If you go for a pinch, you go for a pinch like that, and then you want them to be trapped here. That's the goal. You want them to be trapped here. But you push the house, your teammates all die, they end up getting this side of the map, your team ends up spawning out. We have to be a lot more cautious with our pinches because now all you've done is give them an easier route for P2. If we look right now, they have the heal. You're going to get the heal here. It's absolutely fine. But they have P2. They literally have P2. One of your teammates spawns out. Again, bit of a weird split spawn here. You might end up spawning behind. Yeah, just like that. You end up spawning on the hill. I knew that would happen. It's just one of those weird split spawns where no one's really blocking any spawns, but you're not contributing to benefiting the spawns either. You're doing the same thing. So this is what happens in these type of lobbies. Everyone just kind of flowing around. Because remember, we're watching your POV, but there's so many other people's POV that we're not watching that are probably giving them bad spawns themselves, which is allowing you to get the good spawns. So things like that are really, really crucial. Just understanding what we're doing in terms of spawns, okay? Going through. Down by 20 right now, 25 seconds. We need to be rotating here. Again, every time you're going back here, you're just giving them the good spawn. You're giving them the likelihood of getting the good spawn. You know, every time you get these kills, you should be thinking of going forward, not backwards. So you get these kills. First of all, you're blocking this spawn. Okay, cool. You're giving them, you're telling them to spawn out. You're basically telling them to spawn out. Then you're going through, you're going through, you're going through. And when you're getting these kills here, your teammate is spawned out. Your teammate is spawned there. It's the good side to start with. You want to spawn here at the start, okay? But as the hill progresses, you want to spawn here. Are we okay with that? Are we all okay with that? We want to spawn here as a second part of the hill. Right now, we're on the second half of the hill. We're near the end of the hill. We now no longer want to spawn here, okay? We only wanted to spawn here to get an advantage at the start. After 20, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, we want to flip it. We want to hold it from the other side. That's a big skill, is understanding when to flip spawns. Right now, you're giving them this spawn, okay? Now, you are still encouraging that, because look at this. You should be turning around here and seeing when you can push forward. But look, you're going backwards, backwards, backwards. And now look, this backward step isn't giving you any more map pressure. You're getting less map pressure. We know they're spawning out now, but they have total control of the map. You should be pushing up here. Your teammate's there. You should have been pushing up and let your teammate get that hill. Right there, when your teammate spawns there, you should turn around and you should bump forward. What you should have done, in my opinion, is start going forward and let your teammate that spawns up get that hill. Does that make sense? Let me explain when. Right now, you should push forward. Honestly, forget this hill. Push forward. Maybe you can hold it, but right now, I would get this kill and I would immediately go to this ladder and just look forward and see if I can go forward, because my teammate can bump me. As soon as you turn around, for me, this is the play we need to avoid. This is a big red flag because you're not gaining more map pressure. You're turning around. You should have turned around and you should have pushed forward or stayed on the hill. As soon as your teammate spawned behind you, if you were standing there, let's say you were on the hill right now, okay? And your teammate spawned there, I would have said, push forward now, let your teammate get the hill, and this is called bumping hills. Push forward, go towards, let's look at the map, go towards this area, but instead you're going this way, and you're just causing a big problem for the future hill. You see where I'm coming from? You're holding this side, and now, yes, they push you, because there was no space for you, there was no map control. He goes to the stairs, you would have killed him, bro. You would have killed that Malin right there. You would have killed him, 100%. Okay? Now you're at the back. Okay, look how far you spawn. You know the first P2? This is where I wanted you to trap them. This is perfect for the opponents right now. You're in a really bad spot, bro, because you spawn all the way out. You are spawned in a terrible spot. Let me pause it right here. Do you remember when I told you you should be sitting here? This is why. Because when your opponent comes through, they would have been able to beam you. This is why I said earlier, set up in that area. You're probably going to go underground right now. There you go. So this is what I said earlier. On the other side, just as a reminder for P2, why I mentioned it. Right now, you are your opponent's POV. You are your opponent, you are your opponent, okay? You remember when Spartan got a 3-piece? Well, we're on 6 minutes right now. I want to go back to this, really important. And this, it's a full circle moment. I want to go through it together, okay? This is the first P2, right here. Right here. When I said you should push up and hold the right there, you should have held that right-hand side, okay? But you see you go backwards, 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 backwards. Look what Spartan does now. Look where Spartan comes from. He goes through and gets a 3-piece. That's why I wanted to stop him. Okay? So now let's forward it to your opponent's POV. Let's forward it to now. Same situation. If your opponents will set up more, when I'm playing in these situations, bro, there's people sitting up on headies there and it's so hard to get out. But they give you time. They give you a chance to get out. Let's not make the same mistake they do. You see you're going through with your knife, you're so confident that you're going through the gap. That's because no one's watching it. But better players will start to watch that. They're not going to give you this much time. So right now what you're doing is you're able to get into the hill for free, but against better players, they're not going to let you do that, okay? You go through, you get 2, you still spawn out there. A little bit more pressure, which is not too bad. We got to try going for spawns there just because you spawn so much closer. So go through the left, perfect. Again, they can't be behind you yet. You're reading the spawns wrong. You're reading the spawns wrong because you've not blocked the spawns yet. So let's slow this down. What you did right now if you block the spawns, okay, if your teammate, this is really important because I can see where you're going a little bit wrong, okay? If your teammate behind you, if he spawned on the other side, if he spawned there, if he spawned back there, then I would have said, look to your left, that's great play. But because no one spawned there, your teammate's still spawning out, they still have the spawns at the back. There's nothing that tells me that they've given up those spawns yet, okay? So you gotta be careful. You have not yet blocked those spawns. So you're gone too early here. You've gone too early right there. You should have committed for another wave. Look, there's nothing that tells me they're spawning here, nothing. So you're going through, and you've just given up that push for no reason, okay? Be cautious there, be very cautious. You just wasted 10 seconds for no reason. Now I know why you did it, but you see where I'm coming from? You see how I knew that? Was because there was nothing that told me they're spawning there. Be very, very cautious, my friend. You go through, good play in terms of, not really good play actually, I don't know why I'm gassing it, I'm gonna be truthful. That was a play we need to avoid, okay? There's no point me lying to you and saying good play, that's how we gotta avoid. Rotate, 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 rotate. But you're going through for no reason. Zipline here is pointless, there's 10 seconds left. Rotate, rotate, rotate. This new hill was so crucial, bro, so crucial. And you've given it up for free. You gave it up for free for no reason, and now you're breaking. Very small plays. You have good gun skill. You have decent movement, but you're not using it to the best of your ability. You're using it in pointless situations. You're pushing through pointless areas. You just gave up the P4 rotation for free. You're nowhere getting a kill here. It's impossible for you to get a kill here. It's impossible. There you go. You die. I was so glad because I would have looked like an idiot. But you go through and I'm looking at this, I'm saying, I look at this and say like, this isn't like you can't shoot back. You can clearly shoot, but there's a reason why you're getting stuck. It's because of your decision making. It's just the areas on the map. You're giving yourself a harder time rotating because you're going for kills. You're simply going for kills in these scenarios. Okay, now we go through again. Most of this is the same now. Most of this is, I think I spoke for like an hour. I speak a lot. I do speak a lot. Yeah, we can kind of wrap that one there. We'll just kind of play it out for a bit. Just my overall thoughts is like, I want you to slow down the gameplay and just realize on the map what's going on. And one thing I need you to start doing, my friend, is picking up an AR when you need to, because right now you're playing at one gear, and it's not helping you. It's just not helping you, okay? So last point I want to go through right there. Look where you spawn. Let's look up top right now. If that player was on that head glitch right there, he would have killed you for free. Remember earlier you made the same mistake? Look what happens, look what happens, look what happens. Boom. That's exactly what happened to you. All that happened there was Fent was already there. All he had to do was go around the corner and hold the angle. They were too slow. So right now, you're playing like your opponent. So you can see that the speed of that they're playing it isn't ideal. That's what we got to avoid, okay? I don't mind you using a sub, but pick up an AR. I need you to pick up an AR and help you out more, because there's certain times where you could just hold an area, but because you have a sub, you're just pushing it. You're pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. This play was okay because you're giving yourself the good spawns. This is the first time on this hill you've actually given yourself the good spawns. The first two rotations, you gave yourself the bad spawns. Again, you're going through the long distance here. You don't need to. You got timing. Just go through the quicker distance here. They're going to be on the hill. They're going to be on the side on the stair glitch. You spawn out a little bit. Okay, right now, you see how you spawn here? Can you see how no one's here? Just like earlier, remember when your teammates spawned there, but you were still watching this side? That's what I mean by avoiding. You know now they're spawning out. So what do? Immediately right now, I would say, I want you to think for a second, what is the best play right now? I've got a really good play that you could do immediately. I'm gonna stop for a second. I want you guys to think as well at home. What do you guys think you should do here? Think to yourself, what could you do here? This is what I would recommend, okay? Get an AR out immediately, switch class, go up top zip, watch middle. Let's see what he does. Okay, takes too long. He has a sub here. He can't fight these long range distances. You need to get an AR there because you are now useless on the map. There is no use. You have to jump off. You have to push them because you have no use on the map there. Now, I know there's 5 seconds left, but in terms of context, let's say that was original play. You have to get an AR out and be quicker there, okay? We go through. Yes, you went 26 and 19. Yes, you did decent in terms of KD. Yes, your team went negative. Could you have won the way you played? I don't think so. I think you need to change your play style to be more annoying for the enemy team. You were getting kills, but a lot of those kills, I would say, were useless kills on the map. Again, that's not in a bad way. It's just the truth. In my opinion, a lot of your kills were useless. What that means is 10 kills you got, they didn't result to any heal time. 10 kills you got, all they did was Honestly, sometimes it would give you the bad spawns. So the way I look at this is you were getting kills to give you bad spawns at times. You have to be careful with that because sometimes you're getting kill time. So you're getting kills that are resulting in negative effects for your team. That's never how you want to play, because all that means is the more kills you get, the more chances you are of losing the match. It sounds crazy, but some playstyles are like that. There were certain times you were going through the wrong area, you were giving yourself bad spawns, and that's what happens, okay? You have very good gun skill. All I want you to do is tune it a little bit. I want you to go to certain areas and push up and cut lanes and hold an angle and sit on different areas. Let me go through tac maps really quickly before we end this one. P3, okay? On P3, bro, just sit somewhere like here. If you sit on the floor here, okay? Sit on the floor. Like when you have a setup, right? You have a setup, cool, you're on P3, your teammates have a good setup, whatever, they have something like that. You know they're coming through. Be patient, they're going through like that, okay? 4 of them going through the front, wait, one of them goes in, they're all going through. Now you collapse on them, you get 2 of them, you back away, then 2 of them are dead, okay? Then one of them's in the hill, your teammates kill him, and one of them looks at you, but you're backed away. You go around, you play smart. This guy goes in, he dies as well. By then you reposition, you're now at a new angle. I need you to use your aggression, use your gun skill in a more disciplined, positive way. Instead, you were going to areas where you're not helping your team. You were going up top zip with a sub and just standing there and wasting time. There was a lot of small plays that just weren't helping you, okay? YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Shout out to that boy Trent for his gameplay. If you guys want your own VOD review sorted out, please drop a message on Discord. Actually, sorry, not drop a message. If you look in the description down below in the YouTube video, there is a coaching section. In the coaching section, there is a let me say that again. There is a coaching section in the Discord. You can create a ticket and my admin will be able to book you in. If you want a VOD review, a recorded one, just say recorded VOD review. You'll be able to send that over and I'll be able to get that done for you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys from the one tomorrow. Peace.